What up, good people? Welcome to the Recap 100 channel. I appreciate y'all tapping in, and I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into the topic. At the time of the recording, or the audio recording for this video, the No Limit versus Cash Money actually was about a week and a half ago, and I thought about just saying the hell with it, but since the hype never died down, I figure, what the hell, right? That's what we do on YouTube. So, this is the versus of all verses to me, you know what I'm saying? This is the only verses I've ever seen where I knew all the songs on both sides. Alright, both No Limit and Cash Money sides. Now, of course, this would have been nice to have Mystical and C Murder on the No Limit side, as well as having Lil Wayne and Turk on the Cash Money side, but nevertheless, it was still epic. It was still great. I mean, I never ever thought that I would see this. I mean, a lot of people never thought they would see this. We never got to see things like Ali versus Tyson. We never got to see LeBron versus Jordan. But we definitely got to see No Limit versus Cash Money, and it was monumental. Now, on the Cash Money side, I would have to say Juvenile was the one who really held it down. And then on the No Limit side, it was most definitely Mia X that held it down. Till this day, Mia X is actually still my favorite female rapper of all time. Now, even though Cash Money did come with a lot of bangers, No Limit came with the bangers. They came with the presentation. It was more unified. It was more together. So for that reason, I would probably have to consider No Limit the winner, just my opinion. If you take Cash Money as the winner, I mean, I won't disagree with you either. They both were great. There was some people that kept saying that they should have played some mystical joints like Shake It Fast or Danger. But one of the things you got to remember is that when Mystical did Shake It Fast and Danger, this was after he had already left No Limit. The same way they couldn't use like Rodeo or Know Your Clap, because at that point Juvenile had already left Cash Money when he did those records. He was under his own independent label, UTP. If this is Cash Money versus No Limit, then they're playing records that are only produced by Cash Money and No Limit. Yes, people are cracking jokes about Master P's little jogging place move that he kept doing. Yeah, people was talking about how Birdman didn't have to go out and diss Turk or whatever. But I think the most monumental moment that people kind of always point out, or people remember the most, is how Master P had that crazy setup after Birdman did #1 Stunner. And P had let him know, hey, look, I was uptown too. And, you know, the way you started that stunt and shit, I started this here, you know. And he's like, KLC, give it to him. And he did Body. Like, that was kind of like the turn. Not to say that No Limit was losing, but that was the point where No Limit just kind of took over from there. And it was like no coming back, you know. So it was monumental. I loved it. And now they're talking about a No Limit and Cash Money tour, which to a degree, I think, there was so many things that was kind of building up to this where it was almost a story of its own. When you think about the past 4 or 5 years, you got Master P who dropped the No Limit Chronicles, and then you turn around and you had the No Limit Reunion Tour, and then you had the Juvenile Tiny Desk, and then BG was free from prison, and then Lil Wayne who was complaining about not getting the Super Bowl spot, and then the Lil Louisiana Festival where all the Hot Boys was able to return and reunite for one night only. And then the Hot Boys went on tour, but of course they kicked Turk off the tour and stuff, which is why he wasn't there by the time they did the Verzuz. But nevertheless, it's still great to hear that they're at least considering the idea of a No Limit and Cash Money tour. This would be a great win, a major dub for New Orleans, Louisiana, for hip-hop in general, for the people who get a lot of nostalgia from those classic records on both sides. And as me and my brother talked about this a few days ago, he mentioned that it would be super dope if they took the actual original sessions and did remixes with both sides. Like, for example, somebody like Mia X getting a verse on Bling Bling, or somebody like Fiend who perhaps getting a verse on Still Fly, or maybe even somebody like BG getting a verse on Mr. Ice Cream Man, or Juvenile getting a verse on It Ain't My Fault. Just the idea. Personally, I understand that my YouTube channel is not very big, so the chances of Master P or Birdman hearing this idea is probably slim to none, but perhaps there might be another YouTube channel that's a lot bigger than mine who hear this and could run with the idea, and P or Birdman will hear it from them. Just as long as we can at least get those iconic songs and maybe a compilation out of it. Y'all can leave y'all comments on whether or not y'all think that's a good idea or not. But either way, I appreciate y'all tapping into the Recap 100 channel. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, do all those wonderful things to let us know you're rocking with us. And we'll see you next time. Be blessed. Peace.